All right, imagine this: you're standing on the edge of a vast, dark universe, staring into the unknown. You're not just asking what's out there, but why is there anything at all? And then, the real kicker: why am I aware of it? Why do you, right now, have this mind, this awareness that allows you to experience the universe? It's not some abstract philosophical question, it's the most fundamental mystery there is. So let's start by tackling the first big one. Why does the universe exist? Why is there something rather than nothing? We're not talking about just the stars, planets, and galaxies. I'm talking about the very fabric of reality itself: space, time, and energy. Why did it all suddenly spring into existence? Scientists like Stephen Hawking have tried to give an answer. The universe, they say, might have come from a quantum fluctuation, a random, tiny blip in the vast emptiness of nothingness. But hold up. That's not really an answer, is it? Because if the universe came from a quantum fluctuation, we're still left asking, why are there quantum fluctuations in the first place? Why are there laws of physics at all? Why is there a reality that works in a certain way instead of no reality at all? It's like every time we try to explain the origin of the universe, we just keep pushing the mystery further back. It's like building a tower, but every brick we add just raises the question: where'd the brick come from? We're stuck in this infinite loop of explanations. But here's where it gets wild: a growing number of scientists and philosophers think that to really crack this mystery, we need to look at something even stranger: consciousness. Not just the universe out there, but the mind in here, the thing that's allowing you to hear these words right now, to think about the universe at all. Why do you have this experience of being alive, of being aware? How is it that we, humans, not only exist in this universe, but are also aware of it?
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
Consciousness is like this invisible force that makes everything meaningful. Without it, the universe could exist, but would it matter? Think about it. If there were no conscious beings to witness the stars, the galaxies, the sunsets, would they even matter? Reality doesn't just exist, it exists for someone. And that's where consciousness plays its trickiest card. We can measure the universe, calculate its age, its size, but consciousness, we have no clue how to even begin measuring that. It's like trying to catch the wind with your hands. Now, let's take it another step deeper. Some thinkers suggest that consciousness isn't just something that happens inside your brain. They think consciousness might be fundamental to the universe, just like space, time, and matter. In other words, consciousness might not just be a byproduct of evolution or some complex network of neurons. No, it might be something that's been here from the very start, embedded into the fabric of reality itself. Could your awareness, your ability to think, feel, and perceive, be as basic to the universe as gravity? And here's the mind-blowing part: if consciousness is fundamental, then maybe the universe itself is conscious in some way. Maybe the universe exists because it's aware of itself. Just like you're aware of your own thoughts, could the universe be aware of its own existence? It sounds crazy, but some of the brightest minds out there are seriously considering this idea. But if consciousness is so fundamental, then why does it feel so personal? Why does it feel like it's locked inside your brain, inside your mind? And if it's supposed to be part of everything, why can't we observe it like we do with other forces of nature, like gravity or electromagnetism? This is where we hit the wall that science hasn't been able to break through yet. We can understand the brain's mechanics, neurons firing, chemicals flowing, but how does that turn into the experience of being you? How do those brain mechanics create the feeling of awareness, of being alive. And if we can't explain consciousness in terms of the physical world, in terms of atoms, molecules, and energy, then maybe we need to rethink the whole way we look at the universe. Maybe consciousness isn't something that emerged from the universe. Maybe the universe emerged from consciousness. All right, now that we've started to wrestle with the idea that consciousness might be fundamental, let's go even further. If consciousness is at the core of reality, then the question becomes, how does consciousness shape the universe? And more importantly, what does that mean for us? Let's take a look at quantum physics, which is already mind-bending enough on its own. One of the strangest findings in quantum mechanics is the role of the observer. In certain experiments, it seems like particles don't even have definite properties until we observe them. Until we look, they exist in this weird state where they're both here and there, both particle and wave, both something and nothing. But the moment we observe them, they decide to be one thing or the other. Here's the question: why does the act of observing something change its state? And if our consciousness is affecting the physical world at this tiny quantum level, could it be doing the same thing at larger levels too? Could it be that the universe needs observers, conscious beings like you and me, to fully exist? It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but some physicists are seriously entertaining this possibility. The idea that the universe might, in a very real sense, exist because it's being observed is called the participatory universe. It's like the universe is a giant feedback loop. It creates conscious beings, and those conscious beings, in turn, give the universe its form and meaning. But let's get even crazier. What if the universe isn't just being observed by conscious beings like us? What if the universe is observing itself? Remember how we talked about consciousness possibly being fundamental to reality? Well, if that's true, then maybe the universe is a giant, self-aware system. Maybe it's constantly observing itself, changing and evolving because it's aware of its own existence. Now, you might be thinking this sounds like pure speculation, and you'd be right. We don't have any hard evidence to back this up, not yet anyway. But here's the thing, we also don't have any hard evidence to rule it out. Quantum physics has shown us that the universe is much stranger than we ever imagined. And when it comes to consciousness, we're still in the dark ages. But here's where things get practical. If consciousness really is this fundamental force, then that means your consciousness, your awareness, is deeply connected to the fabric of reality. You're not just a passive observer sitting on the sidelines of the universe. You're an active participant. Your thoughts, your perceptions, your very act of being aware, they might be shaping the universe in ways we can't even begin to understand. So here's the real question: what does that mean for how you live your life? If your consciousness is part of the universe's self-awareness, if it's part of what gives the universe shape and meaning, then every moment of awareness you experience is significant. Every thought, every feeling, every choice you make, they all matter. Not just to you, but to the universe as a whole. And that leads us to a profound realization: consciousness isn't just something that happens to you. It's something that you do. It's something that you create. You're not a victim of your thoughts or your experiences. You're the one creating them. And if that's true, then you have the power to shape your reality in ways you never thought possible. So let's keep going. What if the entire universe is intricately connected to the consciousness of every being within it? Think about that for a second. It's not just that you're aware of the universe, but that your awareness is part of a much larger, cosmic system. Every thought, every feeling, Every moment of consciousness might ripple out into the universe, affecting reality in ways we can't yet comprehend. This brings us to something truly mind-blowing. What if the universe doesn't just evolve randomly, but is influenced by the collective consciousness of all the beings within it? We're not talking about some mystical force here. We're talking about real, measurable effects that consciousness might have on the world. If quantum physics shows us that observation affects reality, then maybe consciousness is the key to understanding the fundamental laws of the universe. Maybe consciousness isn't just an observer, maybe it's a creator. Now, before you think this is too far-fetched, let's dive into something called the observer effect in quantum mechanics. You might have heard of Schrödinger's cat, this famous thought experiment where a cat in a box is both alive and dead until it's observed. It's a paradox meant to illustrate how quantum particles exist in a superposition of states until they're observed. But here's the kicker: it's not just a thought experiment. This weird phenomenon has been observed in real-life quantum experiments. Particles seem to behave differently when they're being watched. It's as if consciousness itself is the deciding factor in how these particles behave. And this raises a huge question: if consciousness can affect quantum particles, could it also affect larger systems? Could it influence the way the universe unfolds? If so, then consciousness, your consciousness, my consciousness, the consciousness of every living being might be a key player in shaping the very fabric of reality. Maybe consciousness is the missing piece in our understanding of how the universe works. So what does that mean for your life? It means that your thoughts, your perceptions, and your awareness might have a much bigger impact than you realize. If consciousness is truly fundamental, then every moment of awareness is shaping the world around you. You're not just a passive observer of the universe. You're an active participant in its creation. This brings us to a profound and practical insight. What kind of reality are you creating with your consciousness? If your awareness shapes the world around you, then the thoughts you think, the emotions you feel, and the intentions you set are all part of that creation process. What you focus on, what you believe, what you hold in your mind, these things aren't just happening inside your head. They're rippling out into the fabric of reality itself. And here's where things get even more interesting. What if the universe is alive in a way we've never considered? What if the universe itself is conscious? Some physicists, like John Wheeler, have proposed that the universe might be a self-excited circuit. A system that is aware of itself and constantly evolving through its own observations. In this view, the universe isn't just a static, lifeless thing. It's a dynamic, living system that's constantly interacting with the consciousness of the beings within it. This idea might sound outlandish, but when you think about it, it actually makes a lot of sense. If consciousness is fundamental to reality, then it stands to reason that the universe itself would be conscious. After all, if you're aware, and I'm aware, and we're all part of the universe, then maybe the universe is aware as well. But here's the question that really takes this idea to the next level. Could the universe have created itself through its own awareness? This is where things get truly mind-bending. Some physicists, like Paul Davies, have suggested that the universe might have bootstrapped itself into existence. In other words, the universe might have caused its own creation through its own consciousness. It's a bit like the idea that your consciousness creates your reality, but on a much bigger scale. If this is true, then the universe isn't just a random collection of matter and energy. It's a self-aware, self-creating system that evolves through its own observations. And if that's the case, then the act of being aware might be the most fundamental process in the universe. Consciousness might be the engine that drives the evolution of reality itself. This brings us to another deep question: what role do we play in the evolution of the universe? If consciousness is a key player in the unfolding of reality, then we as conscious beings might have a much bigger role to play than we think. We might not just be observers of the universe's evolution, we might be co-creators of it. Every thought, every intention, every moment of awareness might be part of a much larger process that's shaping the future of the universe. And this isn't just some abstract idea. It has real, practical implications for how you live your life. If your consciousness is part of the universe's evolution, then the way you think and act matters. It's not just about your personal reality, it's about the reality of the entire universe. Your awareness is part of the cosmic system that's constantly evolving and changing. So what kind of universe do you want to help create? If your consciousness is part of the fabric of reality, then you have the power to shape the future of the universe. It's not just about you, it's about all of us, together, co-creating the world we live in. And that's a responsibility we can't take lightly. At this point, we've explored some pretty wild ideas. But let's take things even further. If consciousness is fundamental to the universe, and if we play a role in shaping that universe through our awareness, then what's the ultimate purpose of consciousness? Is there a reason why we're conscious? Is there some grand design behind it all? Some philosophers, like Alfred North Whitehead, believe that existence itself is the expression of value. In other words, the universe exists because existence has intrinsic value. And what gives existence its value? Consciousness. Without consciousness, nothing has meaning. Nothing has purpose. Consciousness is the vehicle through which the universe experiences itself, through which it finds meaning. But here's the final, mind-shattering question: could it be that the universe exists because consciousness gives it meaning? If consciousness is what gives value to the universe, then maybe the universe exists because it has value. Maybe reality itself is an expression of consciousness's desire to experience, to feel, to create. And this brings us to a profound realization: without consciousness, nothing matters. Without conscious beings to experience it, the universe would be a cold, lifeless void. It's consciousness that brings warmth, color, and meaning to reality. It's consciousness that makes the stars beautiful, the music moving, the love profound. But here's the twist: without consciousness, nothing would exist. If consciousness is fundamental to reality, then it's not just the key to understanding the universe. It's the key to the universe's very existence. Consciousness might be the spark that ignited the Big Bang, the force that continues to drive the evolution of the cosmos. So where does that leave us? It leaves us with the realization that we are not just passive observers of the universe. We are active participants in its creation. Your consciousness right now is part of the cosmic dance that's been unfolding for billions of years. And the choices you make with that consciousness, the thoughts you think, the actions you take are shaping the future of the universe.